Hello, my peeps, and welcome to Snippet number 1. So, today is the 27th of February. On Tuesday, when demos get their weekly updates, this week's was full of information. Now, a lot of these things are usually reserved for OnStage, which is coming up in a couple of weeks. So, I was quite surprised to see that they came early. Now, we didn't get a ton of information on each of the things. We got the beginning information on each of the things. But you're going to start to hear about these things. So I'm going to give you what I know now. For those of you who weren't at the Craft and Chat last night, it was a lot of information to try to figure out how to put in the newsletter. So I just kind of gave you, hey, there's some new stuff coming. It's these things. Now I'm going to try to give you a little more detail, although there will be even more to come after OnStage and once we have more information. Right now I don't have any graphics or anything, like Stampin' Up didn't give us any of that. I've made a few things to help along. But I want you to have some basic information so that you can you at least know what it is, and you know that I'm aware of it and that I will have more when it comes, right? Because you're going to start to see things all over the place eventually. So one of the first announcements that came out, and one of the ones that I think got people the most excited, was new ink pads. So when I first started with Stampin' Up, we actually had felt ink pads. And then years ago, it seems to me it's like 5 or 6 now, but they switched to the foam pads. And one of the things they did when they switched was they added an anti-bubbling thing to the re-inker, so that it would ink up smoother, so you wouldn't get like the little air bubbles in it, which sometimes would give you like voids in your stamping. So there was lots of good like changes from going from felt to the foam. They are now going to go back to the felt. And again, there's good things for either one of them. A lot of people are going to be excited about felt over foam. I can tell you one of the things that excites me about it is, you know how some people, despite how many times you tell them, insist on like getting down with their stamp and pushing as hard as they possibly can and really grinding in there, and you get ink everywhere because the foam pads release so much more ink at once. With the felt pads, it's going to be a bit more of the tap, 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 tap around to ink up your stamp, but you will use less ink, so there's less ink wastage, because all that stuff you're wiping off your hands and your blocks and everything else is really just wasted ink. And it's still going to give you a nice clean stamp, but it's going to be cleaner to stamp. So I'm very excited about that part. But there's goods and bads to each one of them. Now, when they switched the last time, they said, and we'll get the numbers and we'll get the deal right now, that you should keep like this ink pad with this and this with this, right? Like don't mix and match your types. I'm using this as sort of like a demo because it's not actually the one we're talking about, but so they're still saying the same thing, like the foam ink pad with the foam re-inker, and then the magnetic ink pad with the magnetic or like the colors for the magnetic. So you shouldn't be mixing and matching the refills, is their advice. You can't guarantee the colors, you can't guarantee the quality. So that's what they're saying. So just so you know, there will be new ink pads and new re-inkers. Now, remembering again, this is just to kind of give you an idea. Our current ink pads, one of the things that I know I hear a lot of times, and I still have people who've stamped with me for years who will hand me the ink pad to open and close for them. If you have any kind of hand issues or a little arthritis or some of them, it's just you got to get in the system of it. And if you asked me how to open this ink pad, I couldn't describe it to you, but I could muscle memory do it. So our current ink pads, they pop open, flip, slide, right? So that's the current way. The new ink pads, now remember, this is not actually one of the new ones because I don't have it yet, but the new ones will open like this, right? So anybody who is familiar with Close to My Heart, which I am not, Stampin' Up bought the Close to My Heart patent or whatever. So that's the ink pads they're now going to make with Stampin' Up colors and Stampin' Up ink. So they have magnetic lids on them that snap shut. With the magnetic lid, you can also put the top underneath, or you can put the top beside, and they will snap. So they're going to open totally different than these ones do. Okay? So let me just put those back, because I just wanted to give you more of a visual. So one of the other big questions is, will they fit in my storage system? Now, depending what storage system you have will really depend on the answer. This is the current one, and all I could do is get screenshots. So this was the current one, and the new magnetic ones. So they're longer and skinnier than our current one. Stampin' Up! Has told us, yes, they will fit in the Stampin' Up!, like the Stampin' Up! Storage that it goes in. They're just, it won't fit perfectly like these ones do, because they were like, that storage was made for these ones. It was also made to have the marker beside it, and they've discontinued the markers. So do I personally think they will come out with new storage systems in the future? Yes, I do. Have they said that? No, they have not. So yeah, showing you, so this is more what it will look like when you open it up. And there's a little spot there to put a label on so you can see what color it is. And then the lid still has a bit of a, like a, I was going to say cavity, but it's a depression in it. So like you can still put re-inker and use the lid of it for your techniques and stuff like that. So yeah, this one, it's not the greatest picture, but the lid is just kind of stuck there. You can just pop them open and have them sitting side by side. They do, if you get them close together, they do magnet together. And you can also stack them on top of each other, and the magnets will like hold them all together. So this is just kind of what the new ink pads look like. Now, here is the significant change. I like change. Change is good. It freshens things up, gives you a chance to do stuff. Just because they're coming out with new ink pads does not mean you need to go out and buy all new ink pads. I did, when they switched from the felt to the new ones, because I like the way the new ones worked. I did, and I think I did it over, I want to say like maybe 6 months. Like each order I'd get some more, or I would get one of the bundles, or, you know, like you can phase up to it. You don't have to do that. And the way they're going to phase these in, you will have lots of time to plan ahead if you want to buy new ink pads. If you want to stock up on current ink pads, I would suggest now. Okay, so here's the big hard to swallow part of this, and I will just be upfront with you. This ink pad, this current ink pad, costs us $12.25 plus shipping and tax. The magnetic ink pad is $20 plus shipping and tax. So there is a bit of a jump in the price of the ink pads. Now, it's the same as a bundle. Like right now, if you bought like a bundle of, I only wrote down the 5, but if you bought like the 5 in colors, where previously it was 55, is now going to be 90. Okay, so here I'll put down 5 ink in color. That's why I can't speak. 5 in color bundle. So the way they're phasing this out, and like I said, you have lots of time to do this. Stuff is going up in price anyways. Everything is going up in price. Everything is all about availability and tariffs and cost of manufacturing and labor and everything. Oops, I just wrote the same price twice. Everything is changing. So none of this is surprising. It's been going on for, well, it always goes on, but it's been going on a lot more in the last, say, 6 years. Once they start doing the new ink pads, this is what the cost is going to be. So how they're rolling these out is the first thing they're going to do is the new upcoming in colors that are the 26 to the 28 in colors are going to come out with the magnetic pads. They are going to be $20 each, or the bundle of 5 will cost $90. Plus they will have new re-inkers. The re-inkers, we'll talk about that more in the next snippet, but the re-inkers are expected to go up in price as well, but we don't know what they are. And honestly, I can't even remember what they are currently. I think they're $7.50, but I wouldn't swear to that. So for now, in 2026, this year, you will be able to buy the 5 new ink colors in these new pads. The rest, here, we'll write this up here. So 2026, the 5 new ink colors. That's the only thing you're going to be able to get in these magnetic pads. In 2027, and I don't have the exact details, but my guess would be in May when it's normally the time that they do them. All the colors are going to be available in the new ink pads, but keep in mind they have also, and they told us this ahead of time, which we don't normally get stuff ahead of time, so it's kind of exciting to get stuff ahead of time. In 2027 they are planning a color revamp. So what that means, and they've done this every 3 to 5 years, and they do it depending on stuff, right? They will look at all of the colors. Okay, so we have the the 4 main color families plus the basics, and they all, so the 4 main colors each have their 10. Then we have the basics, so basic beige, black, crumb cake. I can't remember what's in basics anymore. Navy and something. It's a smaller group, whatever basics are. I do mine by rainbow, so I can't remember the color families. Anyways, those ones, we'll look at all of those ones and make sure that all colors are still current and still being used. If there's a color that absolutely nobody is using or buying, it's likely to go. I believe, if my Stampin trivia is true, Old Olive is the only original color still left from the 30-some years of Stampin' Up. I think we're up to, I want to say 34 years, 38 years? No, we had 35 already. So we go, we gotta be getting close into, I think we're at 38. I think Stampin' Up's 38 years old now. I think Old Olive is the only one of the original colors. So they do that, and it's the same with the in colors, right? Like that's how they keep things fresh and current. They introduce these new ones, but every few years they'll go over all of them. So the last time when they did this, they I want to say there was either 12 or 20. That's a big difference. I can't remember now. They took out a whole bunch of old colors that weren't being used, and they introduced some new ones. We got Azure, and it was very exciting, and lots of good changes, and I loved it. So that's when they're going to do this. So my advice to you, and everybody's room is different, and everybody does things differently, but if you love your foam ink pads, and you have no intention of like replacing a whole bunch of colors or anything, make sure you have refills for them. Okay? If you use them a lot and you go through a lot of refills, buy more than one. I've had the same refills for years before, and I don't think the refills go bad. So make sure you have enough refills to go with your ink pads of the current style. If you are planning to replace your ink pads for the new magnetic ones, all you can get this year is the 5, but starting next year, and wait for the color revamp to be announced, right? It will be crazy next spring, because if somebody's favorite color is going away all of a sudden, then they're going to stock up on it, right? So it'll be a little, but as soon as we know information about the color revamp, I promise you I will tell you the minute we know. Just make a plan. Like, start saving your budget now if you plan to replace them all. If you plan to just stay with what you have, and as you need new ones or as your new color comes out, like last time when they did the revamp, there was whatever, I think, I want to say 20 now, but that seems like too many. If there was, let's just go with 20. If there's 20 new colors that come out, they'll have like a bundle of 20. And usually when you get a bundle, you get 10% off, so it's a little bit cheaper. So you can decide, I'll buy the bundle of the 20 new ones, I'm keeping everything else the same. I'm going to buy them one at a time. I'm going to buy a color family at a time. Like, however you decide you want to do it, just so you know what's coming. New magnetic ink pads, 2026, all you can get is the 5 in colors. Starting in 2027, you'll be able to get them all, but there's also going to be a color revamp, so not sure what colors they all are going to be. Now, I debated about this because it's usually a bigger fanfare and a bigger announcement and excitement, but somehow this year they just kind of slipped it into a video, so But I like to know the new in colors. I get very excited about them. So, spoiler alert. I am about to show you the 2026-2028. Just a minute. I'm going to do it this way. Just a minute. For anybody who doesn't have the sound on. And I say that because I watch videos all the time without the sound. Sometimes I read the thing captions. Sometimes I lip read. Sometimes I just get enough out of what I can see. So, spoiler alert. I am going to show you the 2026-2028 in colors. These are the 5 colors that will be available in the new pads. They're not the greatest picture. I can tell you what they are. And I think one of them I spelled wrong. So if you do not want to watch this, turn off the thing. Because when I'm done with this, I'm done. Okay, so just turn off the video now. If not, I give you the 2026-2028 in colors. So what we have is... It's very funny because this color is called Barely Blush. And you can barely see it in the thing. So it's obviously a very pale pink or peachy color. I don't actually know. Sorry. This one is Crisp Cantaloupe. We had a Crisp Cantaloupe before. I believe they're bringing it back. It was a lovely color. And one of my favorite sets of cards, which still hangs on a rack in my office, is made with Crisp Cantaloupe. I think I still have some of that kit. So, oh goodness me. I waited and all the other colors are current. So I'm so excited about that one. Golden Glow. One of the only colors I've ever regretted getting rid of in colors every year was Wild Wheat, because it was very golden color, because we don't really have a gold. So I'm very excited to see this in person. Golden Glow. Peaceful Pine. Come on, it's a beautiful green. And then this one, they keep saying Hydrangea Hue. I think that's how you spell hydrangea. Excuse me, and I think that's the word they're saying. Sorry, all of a sudden there went my voice. I have no idea. It appears to be a kind of a purpley blue color. I will have much better pictures and samples and stuff like that after on stage when we actually get to see these. But this is what I know for now. It's a nice lighter shade. The last two have been very bold, bright colors. This stuff's a little more softer looking, and can't wait to see it in person. So, as I get more information, I will let you know. There you go, though. Snippet number 1. Stay tuned for 2 and 3. Thanks, peeps.